We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkam. Phillies win at 8-3. They're back on track. You knew they weren't going to lose the rest of them, for goodness sakes. There's potentially a half game behind the New York Mets. Ben, when you look at the box score and you see that 6 guys had hits, 2 guys had multi-hit games, in particular Alec Boehm, who had 4 hits, his 8th 4-hit game of his career. It was a special night for Boehm, and also Trey Turner, 2-home-run night. And how do you make up for blowing it on Sunday? That's how. You come up with a 3 for 5 with 2 homers.
Yeah, those boys at the top of the lineup really got it done. And Turner hitting now 305. Harper at 268, Boehm at 277. His batting average at 277. We're talking about a guy that was hitting about 150 after the month of April, and this is fun to watch. And again, it's just big numbers. Michael, there were 7 hard hit balls. Hard hit ball is categorized as an exit velocity of over 95 miles an hour off the bat. There were 7 of them alone hit in the first inning, and one of those was for an out. The second ball that Trey Turner hit. These guys are just getting it done, and you get a 4-seamer up out over the plate. You see the count there, 1-2. Just trying to make contact, and he makes contact into the Phillies dugout or the Phillies bullpen for a 2-0 lead to start off, and start off with a walk to Bryson Stott.
I like that. Stott walked, and then the Turner home run, and then they're bringing Harper back. Them other teams don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying, Ben?
I see what you did.
I see what I did there. Thank you very much. Bryce Harper was on fire when he got injured, and he comes off on fire again.
Yeah, without a doubt.
There's Boehm, one more shot.
It's already fence high, as Mike Piazza used to say. All you got to do is tap it. It's exactly what it is. A wise decision making that turn. Barger out in right field with a good armor. I think he would have been nailed at second base, but they just keep the line moving. It's something that's another 2-strike pitch right here.
Kepler.
0-2 count on Kepler. Peppers it back up the middle. Alec Boehm scores. And the train just keeps it going along.
How about JT Realmuto, first and second with 1 out? He goes through the right side as well. And Kepler goes to second, Castellanos to third. Marsh is going to strike out looking, and that brings up Bryson Stott again. Single. I thought this was the most important hit of the inning because they got their 4 runs. Everybody's comfortable, and they said, nope, we're going to add on 2 more and put it out right there.
Yeah, that is big. Anytime you get a 2-out knock, but it's a couple RBIs, man, you love to see it. And they just kept adding on there. Obviously, they added 2 more as the game went on to win 8-3. But just a really huge. How much pressure does that take off of Christopher Sanchez?
Huge pressure.
Just to get him out there and just front run.
How about Bowden Francis, named after former Florida State coach Bobby Bowden, who called him and said, change your name. But I mean, he had a rough night tonight. An inning and 2/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. 58 pitches.
He had 2 field goals there in the first inning. Did Bowden.
Dude, I tell you, it was rough. But, you know, we knew that he had a propensity to give up home runs. He showed that again tonight. And the Phillies jumped all over him. I love that they did it in the first inning, and he exited the game very quickly.
Yeah, we talked about it. He gave up 15 home runs coming into tonight's ball game, 3 by righties and 12 by lefties, and they just continue to add on. Obviously, Trey there, and then Bryce Harper to follow. But it's nice to see them not take their foot off the gas, and it was a fun first inning for sure. It's as I mentioned before the game started. This is a great place to hit. Rogers Center is a great place to hit, and the Phils took full advantage of that, and especially against a guy that is known for the long ball.
Let's go to the other team, the Phillies on the mound. Christopher Sanchez looked like this tonight. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, an earned run, 4 strikeouts on 96 pitches. ERA goes down. But see the other numbers on the other side of the strikeouts? That's 4 walks, Ben, and that's his high for the season. So it's his 4th time that he has had 3 or more walks, and tonight's his season high.
Yeah, I guess you can say that's really the only negative that you take away from tonight's ball game are those walks, and you just can't have it. You take a look at the right here, the first inning. You got a 6-0 lead. There's 2 outs, and then you walk Springer. It's just, I know he's obviously not trying to walk him, but again, there's 2 outs, and you're walking a guy with 2 outs. I'd rather see it. I wouldn't rather see a home run, obviously, but these walks didn't come back to bite them. There's 1 out on the board there. It's something that's, again, 2 outs, another walk, bases loaded. He was able to get out of that unscathed, but that's just the one thing that Sanchez has not been able to remedy this year are the walks. And at some point, it happens to everybody, at some point they will come back and bite you, especially at the big league level. But those 2-out walks are really the ones that, you think about it, I just have to make a couple more pitches, then I'm out of the inning.
Yeah.
Then you end up throwing so many more pitches and not able to get deeper in the ballgame through 96 pitches through 6. It could have been a lot more efficient than that, in my opinion.
That was our Eye on the Mound presented by PGW Energy for all of us. You said you couldn't really put your finger on it, but it just seems odd that a guy can pitch so well, all-star quality, and yet come up with the walks. And as mentioned, 6th time that he has had 3 or more walks, with this being a season high.
Yeah, and when you had asked me about the pregame during the pregame show about are we seeing the best of Christopher Sanchez right now? I said, well, it can always be a command thing with him, and to get those walks down, it hasn't just been him in the starting rotation this year. The starting rotation has been really good, but if the one knock I say would be on them, it would be the free passes, and something they have to eliminate.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We come back, we'll hear from the hometown kid himself, Rob Thompson, who lives 90 minutes from Rogers Center, grew up 3.5 hours from Rogers Center, so it's all right around him. And we'll talk Bryce Harper, hopefully hear from him once again on an outstanding return after a week and 5 games missed.
Phillies Postgame Live is presented by Pure Auto Insurance. See how much you can save at Pure.com.